Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election held in Nigeria on February 25, 2023, and the result controversially announced on March 1st, 2023. And that result has been challenged at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, which delivered its verdict on September 6th and reaffirmed the victory of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress. Not satisfied with that verdict, the petitioners have moved to the highest court in the land, the Supreme Court, to appeal the matter. Now, while Nigerians are waiting for the inauguration of the Supreme Court justices that will handle the matter, a whole lot are happening in our country, some in faraway United States of America, where Atiku Abubakar, one of the petitioners and the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, is challenging Bola Ahmed Tinubu over the certificate he presented to the Independent National Electoral Commission that purportedly emanated from Chicago State University. Atiku is claiming that that certificate was forged, and he has gone to the United States and subpoenaed the Chicago State University to bring out the result of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other academic documents so that he could use it to prove the inconsistencies in the certificate that Tinubu submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission to qualify him for the contest. And you know that in section 137(1)(j) of the 1999 Constitution made it expressly clear that anyone who presented forged certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission remained disqualified, and any vote that that person got is believed to have not been in existence. It means it's a wasted vote. So that is what Atiku is trying to prove and what he's trying to achieve, to ensure that the vote of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the February 25 presidential election allocated to him by the Independent National Electoral Commission is seen as non-existent, seen as illegality and illegality. So that's what he's trying to prove. And if he can prove that, it means that the election of Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be expressly nullified, just like a similar incident of certificate inconsistency led to the nullification of the election of governor of Bayelsa State. Now, one of the developments in Chicago as effort to get Tinubu's academic records opened up to Atiku Abubakar and to the world indeed, was the emergence of another person who claimed to be a classmate of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So that is what we're going to look at, this issue of class people coming out to say that they are classmates of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and to see whether they have relevance to the issue at stake. Because the issue at stake is this: the certificate that Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission in 2022. Is it fake or is it genuine? That is the major issue. But we're going to look at this man that came out in faraway United States to say that He is a classmate of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. His name is Olajide Adeniji. He swore an oath that he knew Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Adeniji testified in a United States District Court that he knew and contested against Tinubu as president of Accounting Society Club of the Department of Business Administration and Accounting in the same alma mater. Now, look, take note of this. This the department he talks about here is Department of Business Administration and Accounting. But in the certificate that Tinubu had, what he has there is that he got a degree in business and administration, not business administration. And the accounting was not reflected there because accounting was said that he majored in accounting. Okay, but the degree was business and administration. But this guy is saying that they pass out from the same department, business administration and accounting, which is quite different from uh, what we know. And that's some of the inconsistencies that Atiku Abubakar is talking about, because this is a business administration and accounting. But what Tinubu was said to have gotten is a diploma or degree in business and administration, not business administration. Now, this man's appearance as a classmate of Tinubu is coming 2 weeks after a public affairs analyst, Durujaye Ogunsanya, also claimed to be a classmate of Tinubu. Ogunsanya featured uh, on TVC's popular breakfast show this morning and testified that they both graduated from the Department of Accounting and Business Administration. Okay, now this other one is they call their Department of Accountants, Accounting and Business Administration in 1979 at the same university. Now it is interesting. This Durujai, I did a video about him at the time. He claimed to be a classmate of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and said so many things. Uh, and he claimed to be a public affairs analyst. But if you Google his name, as many people have done, you will not see anything about him for somebody who claimed to be a public affairs analyst. Because if you are a public affairs analyst in this age and time, there is no way your digital footprint will not be very apparent to anyone who goes to Google or any other search engine to try to find out about you. But this man, if you type his name, Dorojai Ogunsanya, the only thing you will see was that particular interview he had with the TVC, and then the newspaper stories that was made out of that interview. Because when that interview came out, it was published in virtually all the major national newspapers in Nigeria, which they copied, which they lifted from that interview, which called to question what kind of political analyst, public affairs analyst. In fact, David Hundiye even went to the extent of saying, David Hundiye, the highly acclaimed investigative journalist in Nigeria who is on self-exile. He was even doubting the identity. In fact, he was alleging that this identity of this man. How can you confirm it? Somebody who claimed to be a public affairs analyst, there's no digital footprint about him. He only came out just to claim that Tinubu was his classmate. And the media, without investigation, began to splash it all over the place that Durujaye Ogunsanya, a public affairs analyst. These are media organizations that have never written a dime. They have never written anything about it. He has never written anything that was published in their newspapers before, or on television or anywhere for that matter. They just agreed that he was a public affairs analyst. Okay, so and because of that interview, a lot of media organizations, especially television organizations like Arise TV, I remember uh, Rufai of Arise TV threw a challenge to the man that the man should come so that they will interview him and grill him very well because the man went to TVC to grant that interview, and TVC is owned by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, so he was not really interrogated very well effectively. That was why Rufai threw a challenge to the man to come to their studio to come and give clarity on his claim that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was his classmate. As I'm talking to you now, he has not taken that challenge. Since that interview with TVC, he has literally disappeared into thin air. He has not granted any other interview. He has not done anything. He has not moved to other channels where they can really ask him more probing questions about his being a classmate of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, in this particular one that came up in the United States, he swore an oath on September 23 at the Northern District of Illinois in Chicago. This Adeniji, he swore to an affidavit that he was familiar with the same Tinubu, who is the current president of Nigeria. His affidavit reads, I, Olajide Adeniji, after having been first duly sworn upon oath, do hereby state that I am over 21 years of age, that I have personal knowledge of the facts stated herein, and could competently testify thereto if called upon to do so. I attended Chicago State University, Chicago, Illinois, from 1977 to 1979, when I graduated with a degree in business administration and accounting in 1979. I am familiar with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is now president of Nigeria. I was a student at Chicago State University from 1977 to 1979, and Bola Tinubu and I were in the same course of study. I also ran in a closely contested race against Bola Tinubu for the leadership of Accounting Society Club of the Department of Business Administration and Accounting. I also recognize and know the person who I attended Chicago State University with, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is the same person who is now the president of Nigeria. Pursuant to 28 USC 1746, I declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct. That's the end of his affidavit. Now, the question to ask, of what relevance is this man coming out to claim that Tinubu is his classmate, when already the university itself, Chicago State University administrators and their lawyer, Michael Hayes, have all agreed, or at least have said so, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is their students, that he passed out from their school. Now, that is no longer an issue of contention. So I don't understand the hula baloo over his affidavit that the thing is trending in the media, because the university itself said he is our student. The only problem is they say that the certificate that Tinubu submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission, which, which, is, which is the bone of contention, they say they cannot vouch for it. They cannot swear an oath to it. They cannot say that it emanated from them. When Judge Gilbert asked Michael Hayes, the lawyer of Chicago State University, if the administrators of the university can swear under oath that the certificates that Tinubu tendered is from them. They said they cannot. He said that they cannot swear under oath. So if that is the case, the issue at stake is not about whether Tinubu was a student of that university or not. I think that matter is a non-starter. What is important is the certificate in INEC. Where did it come? Where did it emanate from? Who gave it to Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Was it issued by the university? That is why Atiku is making spirited effort to get the certificate from the university so that it will compare it with what was tendered at the Independent National Electoral Commission as the Chicago State University certificate of Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is the thing at stake. It's not about classmates. It's not about those who contested with him for accounting student leadership when he was there. That's not the issue. The issue is the certificate that was tendered to the Independent National Electoral Commission. That is what Atiku Abubakar is after. And Atiku Abubakar also want to confirm it with other documents. That's why Atiku wanted every academic record of Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be released to him, because it will help him in presenting his case that that certificate with INEC was forged. That is it. Who gave him that certificate? Is it from Chicago State University? And if it is not from Chicago State University, it means it was allegedly forged. It means that Atiku was right in his allegation. And it means that Section 137, 1J of the 1999 Constitution will be invoked in his matter. Even as people are saying that the Supreme Court is not a court of evidence, presenting new evidence, but there will be compelling evidence that the Supreme Court just have no choice but to look at it. Now you see that Tinubu is talking about that Atiku should only be given his certificates, that he should not be allowed to get other details about the owner of the certificate in terms of the gender, the admission letter, and other academic documents, which will be unfair to Atiku Abubakar, because Atiku needed to have the accompaniment of the certificate so that he can be able to prove his case. He can be able to prove his case effectively. So it will be unfair if the courts agreed that Atiku should be given only the certificate without giving him the other documents that will back up the certificate. In all, what it means is this: Tinubu's main challenge is the certificate that he has with INEC, which his university say they cannot guarantee. They cannot come out to claim that he emanated from them. So if it is not from them, then where did it come from? And if it did not come from them, it means Atiku Abubakar is right. Then it means that the Supreme Court have to do the needful. They have to invoke Section 137, 1J, which is very clear. That section had been invoked severally in our recent history since 1999. And those who violated it had been shown the door, their elections nullified. So that is the only thing that can save Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency. It's not about those who were his classmates. Okay? Those who are his classmates are immaterial at this point in time. The most important thing is the certificate he tendered. In fact, if he had not tendered any certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission, he wouldn't have been in this problem that he is inside right now. It is because he submitted that certificate to them. Remember, he did not submit primary school certificate. He did not submit secondary school certificate. We know that in 1979, when he contested for governor, he submitted all these things. He filled all these places that he left vacant in 2022. He submitted them, but only according to Chief Olajide George. When they checked the primary and the secondary that he filled at that time in 1979, he said that he never attended those schools, and some of those schools don't even exist. That was what Olajide George or Bode George alleged. So, in contesting for the presidency, he now took a decision not to even put any of those. And it's okay, because even to be president of Nigeria, you don't need much. You don't even need, I doubt if you need a certificate. But the only thing is that anyone you tendered, you should be able to defend it. He could have, as a former governor, just contest, said he wanted to contest. He's a former governor. That's enough ground for him to contest. But because he tendered Chicago State University, which was one of the things that Atiku Abubakar used to make fun of. He said, how can you didn't attend primary school, you didn't attend secondary school, but you have a university degree. How did it come about? But that is by the way. So in essence, what the issue is, it is the INEC certificate, the certificate he gave to INEC, Chicago State University certificate, that is the bone of contention. All these people swearing affidavit, coming out to say that he is their classmate, their coursemate, or whatever, cannot save him. What will save him is to convince Atiku Abubakar that the certificate he submitted to the INEC is genuine, that Atiku was wrong in alleging that the certificate was forged. But if the certificate with INEC is genuine, why is Chicago State University claiming that cannot vouch for it? He cannot swear an oath that he emanated from them. That is the million-dollar question waiting for answer, both in United States and at the Supreme Court. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.